What's going on YouTube? This is Mo Street. Welcome to the channel, and today we're going to show you the 2019 Yamaha R6 that I got recently, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the mods that I've added so far and what I did to the bike, and of course make a short review and a little comparison between this and my 2021 Yamaha MT-09. All right, so the first thing I did to the bike is a paint job. As you can see, it is painted like the 2020 black model. It has a gloss finish on the tank, matte here, and of course a little bit of gloss on these side fairings, and the rest are actually matte. The reason for painting this bike is because it had a little bit of scratches here and there. So basically I painted the whole thing. And as you all know, the R6 is discontinued. So the last model that was produced was in 2020, and you actually can't find any for sale. The second mod I added to the bike is these Evotech shorty levers. They're actually pretty good. They're cheaper than the ASV, and of course they come with the adjusters as well. And I got them with the golden accent to have a continuous look with the front suspension. The third mod I got on this bike is the stealth mirrors. They're actually not by Rizoma. They're a generic type. I honestly do not like them. They don't sit properly like the one from Rizoma, which is actually, it goes out to the side more. These go up in a weird way and they look kind of hideous. I'm going to change them very soon, and I want to order the ones from Rizoma. And of course you could barely see through them, so they're not convenient. They don't look that good. I thought they were nice. I thought they looked exactly like the ones from Rizoma, but no. The next mod is actually more of an aesthetic mod, and it's this gas cap without a key. It's a keyless gas cap. This is also a generic model, a Chinese. It wasn't that expensive. I actually forgot what the price of it was. I also do not recommend this product. It's called Creative Concept. As you can see here, I have this piece of O-ring rubber that came out. So sometimes when rubber gets wet, it expands. So this piece of rubber, which actually blocks the gas from going out of the lid, it popped out, and now I have to replace it. So if you guys could recommend another cap, please leave a comment and I'll look into it and maybe order something else. In the meantime, I'm going to remove this and I'm going to install the original piece in and order something that actually works. Another mod that I've added on this bike is these tank pads from R&G. They are low profile. They protect your bike from any scratches, and of course you get to grip the bike properly with your knees without, sliding. The sixth mod I've added to the bike is these spools from Evotech Bobbins. Their main purpose is to lift the bike on the jack, and of course they actually have a little bit of protection in case of a slide. As you can see here, they're a little bit far out to the right and left, and in case of a slide or a minor fall, these will actually protect your swing arm. The seventh mod on the list would be these foot pegs from Puig or Puig. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I honestly did not like the original ones, and these are just perfect for me. There's another thing that I've done to the bike is actually sandblast the exhaust. I made a mistake of sandblasting the whole system. Now I actually can't polish them, so what I'm going to do is do a ceramic coating on the whole system, so it has a nice black dark look that suits the bike. And as you can see here, we also have the Two Brothers Black Series exhaust. I think this is the SR1 model. It came with the bike. I honestly don't like the look of this exhaust. It has some minor scratches here and there, and the outer condition of it is not so good, but the sound is pretty amazing. I'm going to use this exhaust until I figure out what suits the bike more. All right, let's start this bike up and see how it sounds, and of course take it for a small spin and give you my initial review and comparison to the MT-09. All right. Okay. I like the pops that the exhaust has. Very nice. gonna go to the city because, you know, most people buy bikes and ride them in the city, and I'm gonna actually tell you if it's actually comfortable to ride as an everyday bike. And, you know, in my experience with this bike since the day that I got it, it's not actually a daily bike. It's very uncomfortable to ride. I know it's a powerful bike. It has about 117 horsepower as I remember. It pretty much has the same power as the MT-09. The MT-09 is 120, this is 117. So when it comes to power, the 4-cylinder engine, as everyone knows, is a high revving engine. This 600 is a high revving engine. Revs up to 17,000 RPM. And the MT-09 revs up only to, I think, 10,000, maybe with the tune it could go up to 11,000. I'm talking about the 2020, not the previous, the 2021, not the previous model. The previous model has a slightly higher RPM. I think it's only 1,000 revolutions higher. The MT-09 has it's a low revving torquey bike, so all the power is in the lower rev range, and these 600 bikes have all the power above 10,000 RPM. All right, let's start with the sitting position on this bike. This sitting position is very aggressive. It's very commanding. You can't sit up straight like any of the naked bikes, like the MT-09 or maybe an adventure bike. Even the CBR 650R has a little bit higher of handlebars, and the seating position is relatively comfortable on it. This bike requires a fully tucked aggressive position in order to ride it properly, because you can't go around riding like this. Maybe only on straights. If you're cruising on the highway and you want to rest your hands, back and neck, you will actually, you know, it's possible to straighten your arms and ride straight for long distances like this. But still, it's not the proper way to ride the R6. From my experience in the last couple of weeks on this bike, I have noticed that when it comes to comfort, this bike is absolutely not comfortable as a daily rider. This bike is actually pretty good for weekends on the twisty roads, or maybe to take on the track once every week or two, or whenever you want. It's a perfect track bike. Haven't taken it to the track yet, but I'm planning to pretty soon, maybe next week. It's either this bike or the MT-09. What do you guys think? Which one should I take to the track? This or the MT-09 next week? So in order to turn on the R6, you actually need to lower your body, but when you lower your hands, your body follows. So this is the proper sitting position, the proper riding position on the R6. So you can't actually go all day riding like this. In my experience, start to get neck pain because you have to hold your head up all the time. So it's neck and back pain, and of course you have a little bit of stress on your wrists, on your arms, and of course, most importantly, you're not supposed to like push or rest your hands on the handlebars. You have to hang them. Lower your hands, your arms, and of course hold on the bike with your fingers, with the tip of your hand, let's say. So yeah, when it comes to comfort, I do not recommend this bike if you have any back pain problems or neck problems, or just a guy that's looking for comfort. Let's talk about the looks of the Yamaha R6. Now, the Yamaha R6 is a very beautiful and sexy bike. I mean, it is very aggressive, especially the one that I have here, which is the last generation of the Yamaha R6. It has a very aggressive, mean look, and the fairings are just as beautiful as it can be. Yamaha are pretty much known for making beautiful bikes. The MT-09 that I have is a very mean machine. It looks very futuristic, and it accentuates the power that it has. But this Yamaha R6 actually looks better when it comes to looks. Looks better than the MT-09 because the fairing and the lines and the aesthetic that it has is just kind of, it looks kind of different. It looks like a missile. Right, the tech and electronic that this bike has is actually lacking compared to any other bike on the market in its range. For instance, the MT-09 that I have has a 6-axis IMU system, and this one does not. So what this bike does have is ABS front and rear. It has mode selection. You can select mode A for the most aggressive map, and you have B, which is rain mode, and you have standard mode for standard riding, I guess. Everyday, street, highway. A mode, I think it's the most aggressive or most powerful map, which gives you full power as much as the bike has. It also has traction control system, and they're listed here on the dash from 1 to 6, 1 being the least amount of traction control intervention and 6 being the maximum. what I have on this bike right now is A mode, because as you know, I like to have the most aggressive setting on a bike, and the traction control system to number 2. So yes, this bike is a little bit lacking in the electronics and tech section. That makes the MT09, in my opinion, a little bit better, because these kind of systems like the anti-lift and the 6-axis IMU should be on almost every bike above 100 horsepower. And I almost forgot, another thing that this bike has tech-wise is a quick shifter. It has an up quick shifter, and it does not have a two-way quick shifter like the MT09 as well. So let me show you an example here. It's actually pretty smooth. I like the way it shifts, and it's very convenient to have on any bike, especially on a fast bike like this one. This bike also has a ride-by-cable throttle. It doesn't have the ride-by-wire electronic throttle like the one I have on the MT09. Some people prefer the one with the cables, and I honestly like and prefer the one that is electronic, because when it comes to mapping, it's very accurate and smooth. This bike also doesn't have a TFT display like the MT09 or any other bike in its range. So there you have it, guys. This is my comparison review between the R6 and the MT09. I'll be making more videos about this bike, maybe take it to the track and the twisty roads and record that as well. See you in the next one. Thank you guys for watching.